Hello, I'm Ann Gritch, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this segment of the oral history of the Diocese of San Jose. And I am particularly delighted that with me is Monsignor Francisco Rios. I will be calling you Father.
Francisco. You can call me
Francisco. As you will hear in the interview, Father Francisco has a wonderful history here in our diocese. So I'm just very excited that he's here. So welcome, Francisco.
Thank you, Ann.
So tell us a little bit about your background. You were born in Argentina?
I was born in Argentina in a small town called Santa Elena, St. Helen.
St. Helen.
And number 6 of 7, 6 boys and 1 girl.
Wow, where does the girl fall?
The girls is the second. She was like mom to us. And I'm number 6, and then I have a youngest brother. And my mom always prayed to have her out of the 6 boys, to pray for a priest in the family, and it happened to be me.
So you went to school in...
Went to school in Santa Elena. I did a Catholic school 12 years. And when I finished, I went to Buenos Aires to study. I wanted to be a computer guy. One of my brother was like that. And I said I want to be like him.
Sure.
But my maths were not that good. So I came back and studied. I became a teacher. And it was kind of a junior college. They were just starting that program in the school. The nuns started that program. And so my mom always says, you become a teacher and then you can go and do whatever you want. That's all we can afford. So I became a teacher, worked for 6 months, and the next year I went in the seminary.
Oh my.
But the seminary was in Mendoza, which is like 1,200 kilometers from my hometown.
Okay, so this was a big trip.
A big trip. And I still remember going from my hometown to the next town to take the bus to go to Mendoza, the wine country. It was crying all the time with because my mom loved it because her prayers were answered.
Sure.
But my dad didn't like it.
Oh, he wasn't too thrilled.
No, he said, my sister told me later on that he always thought that a man has to have a family. It's not to be alone. It's like, being a priest, you're going to be alone. And But later on, he said, I have the biggest family. And
right.
So it
he
was
adjusted.
Great. Yeah, he adjusted, yeah.
That's great.
And so I studied that for the Institute of the Incarnate Word.
And that was a brand new, wasn't it?
The Institute of the Incarnate Word started in 1984.
That's new.
I joined them in 1985.
Oh, so you were one of the first.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were going to classes in the diocesan seminary. So we lived like 3 miles from the seminary. We had a bus, we'd go to classes, come back, do community work, study, and prayer, adoration. It was,
so your formation
was
really with the Incarnate Word.
With the Incarnate Word, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And they were missionary?
Missionaries. Their charism is to evangelize the culture. So it's pretty broad. So the idea was to send missionaries in the world and also send priests to Rome to study and be formators in the seminaries. So that was the idea. And I always thought I was going to be going either to Peru or someplace in Latin America.
And instead?
It reminded me of St. Francis Cabrini. I want to go to the east, and the Pope says, no, you're going to go to the west.
So your first assignment was? My
first assignment was in the seminary. I was ordained in 1991, and so they didn't have an assignment for me. So I stayed in the seminary. It was for that year, 1992, the prefect of discipline of the seminary.
Oh my!
So I was a police officer.
Feared? Were you feared?
Yeah, no, not really. And I was a prefect of discipline at Walter, which is my pastor now, and Sergio, which is going to be my pastor next.
But you were there. Isn't life funny?
Life is funny.
Now, are they going to take anything out on you, do you think?
I hope not. And so my first year was in the seminary. And then there was a priest here, Father Carlos Walker, in Brooklyn, New York. And Carlos met Eduardo Arnuil.
Oh, yes.
I think he was working with the Hispanic apostolates.
Yes, in the early days of the diocese.
Yeah.
Yes, Eduardo. He
So
was Chilean, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he met Eduardo. Eduardo told Carlos, there's a lot of Hispanic here. There's a big need. So Carlos contacted Bishop Dumaine. And Bishop Dumaine sent the letter to the incarnate word requesting the priest. So I was ordained in December 1991, December 22nd. You know, our ear is upside down because we're under the equator, below the equator. So we were ordained in December. So 1992, when Carlos says Bishop Dumaine wants priest, so you are going. I said, I don't speak any English. Well, you will learn.
You will learn. And your English is wonderful.
So I started studying English, and then Bishop Dumaine sent the letter, which we never got lost in the, I don't know, in the mail or the bishop's office, whatever happened. So they sent me to Brooklyn to study English.
Oh, okay.
So,
but thank heavens you don't have a Brooklyn accent.
so I was there for a year and 2 months, because I remember the date, April 3rd. We arrived in Kennedy Airport with Father Martin Abrego, both of us. Martin was on the way to China. So
you were on your way to Brooklyn.
On my way to Brooklyn. So took some classes there, worked with the Hispanic in some parishes on weekends, played a lot of basketball.
Good.
It was a great year. And then that was 1993, 1994. I came to San Jose.
Now, was Bishop Garcia involved then?
Yeah, because Bishop Dumaine asked Carlos, I said, what's going on? Why you guys don't send the priest? And I said, well, we didn't get the letter. So he reprinted the same letter and sent it again. And then Bishop got it and said, okay, send the guys to San Jose.
Okay.
So I came, and I don't know, were you receiving? It was Oscar Tabuhara went to the airport with Rich.
I think that's right.
Yeah. And so I came, and I was assigned to St. Maria Goretti with Kevin Joyce.
The most involved parish in the diocese.
End of June. And this is funny. I was thinking when I was coming back, because Kevin called me when I was in Brooklyn and said, okay, how old are you? What you do? This and that. I says, what is your experience with youth group? In my parish, I was involved just a little bit with youth, but not
basketball.
much. Yeah, but not much. And they say, oh, I have like 160 youth in the seminary. That was all my experience. But I had a great time working with the youth group at St. Maria Goretti in 1994. We used to go to the beach. We used to do activities and retreats and fun time.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful parish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, to me was one of the most things the things I remember the most is that that year, 1994, was the year of Proposition 187, Pete Wilson's thing. And I was never involved in any activity like that.
No political.
No. I was, I'm going to be in the church, in confession, sacraments, and I don't get involved in politics. But the community gets you in,
and Bishop Dumaine was very clear that this was unacceptable, 187. I mean,
that march, the people came from Gilroy, Morgan Hill, stopped at Maria Goretti, and I said, what can I do? I said, okay, I'm just going to cook some rice and for the people coming, walking by, and then I'll join them. It was a great experience walking with the people to the city hall for
I have to tell you, Father John Pedigo, when we interviewed him, he mentioned that walk and how cared for they all felt at Goretti, with you feeding them and then joining them. Yeah.
So it was so I remember calling my brothers. I'm very close to my brother who's 2 years older than me, Beto. I says, you know, I'm getting in politics now. I was so proud of myself that I saw the need of the people. But the community is that what got me involved.
Sure. Yeah. There are still some very active people at Maria Goretti. They're just wonderful, wonderful people. So you were at Goretti for how long?
A year.
A year.
And after that year, I was sent to St. Leo's. 1995, I went to St. Leo's as an associate with Rich.
Bishop Garcia, who was then Father Garcia.
But that time, Bishop Dumaine asked Carlos if we had priests to work in detention ministry. And the community didn't have anybody. So they asked me, I said, I'll try. I didn't know what I was thinking, or I was just going to say, I'll try.
You take that obedience very seriously. Good for you.
But so I was part-time at St. Leo's and part-time detention ministry.
Wow. Did you like that?
I loved it.
Everyone I've spoken with who's in detention ministry loves it. There must be something.
It's very rewarding. And Rich was working part-time at St. Leo's and part-time vocations director. So it was a great experience. The last day I did a mass at main jail. The guys, they learned drawing and writing and calligraphy. They made a beautiful picture for me. And they say, we thank you, Father, because you never treated us as animals. You treated us as persons.
All right.
Because you take that for granted. We are a priest, you are
a person.
Yeah. But they felt that, and there were some situations, like I was doing a mass one day, and the officers, something happened. They said, lock down and wrap up and go. I said, I'm just about to give communion. Wrap up and go. And okay, just wrap it up. And following week, the inmates, Father, we want to apologize to you because.
Very moving.
Very moving. Yeah. And there were some experiences. I remember learning from Father Baltasar Ayala. Baltasar always told me, you know, when they come and tell me, Father, those rosaries you bring are so small. And Baltasar will tell them, rosaries are not small, your head is big.
Because they would wear them.
Yeah. And so great experience.
I can imagine.
Also baptizing some of the inmates, giving them communion. One day I went there was an earthquake, and the guys were looking at me and Father, we got to pray harder.
Right. So when did you decide to join the San Jose Presbyterate?
I decided, I joined 2003. Because 2004 I went to Alviso. I was at St. Leo's with Walter Malo. Beginning, Walter was working at St. Patrick's and I was working at St. Leo's. We didn't have much of a community life.
Yeah.
And then they brought in 1998. The following year, Richard became a bishop. 1997, I became the pastor. And they wanted me, the community, to be the master of novices. I can't be the master of novices and a pastor. And so they sent the novices to live in the convent at St. Leo's.
That's right, I remember.
And Father Roberto Rojas helped me, Father Luis Atencio, Father Jebe. So they were working more with the novices so I can focus in the parish.
Well, I remember your installation. And Father Lagos came from Benito Lagos. And I remember I was emceeing for that. And Bishop Dumaine said, now remind me what is, I said, you just think water. I said, there's Father Lagos and Father Rios. Pierre loved that.
Yeah. And you know that Benito passed away probably 10 years ago. He had a heart
Too
attack.
young.
Too young.
Yeah, he was a very nice man, I remember.
So
from St. Leo.
from St. Leo's, I started thinking, we don't have much of a community life because the novices went back east to Washington, D.C. And then Sergio came, Walter came, and Walter was at St. Catherine in Morgan Hill, went to St. John Vianney, and then Sergio went to St. Clair's. So we didn't have much of a community life. So I said, and there were some things that I didn't like the way the community was going. I said, so I talked to Fran talked to PJ. They loved it. I loved it.
Sure.
I always felt welcome in the diocese.
Both the presbyterate and
Presbyteries and the lay. Yeah. All the, my first year when I came in 1994, we had a great time with Kevin and Oscar in the parish and stories. But then something that I will never forget is Dan Derry. Dan was beginning Christ the King.
That's right.
And my first Christmas, Dan comes and he says, what are you doing for Christmas? Nothing, I'm just staying here. He said, why don't you come with me, come to my sister Joan's home?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. And I had a great time.
Well, she's very fun.
And they gave me gift and food, and we played. It was great. So that, my first Christmas in San Jose with Dan Derry's family.
It was a happy time.
A happy time.
I'm glad. That's great.
Yeah. So it was wonderful.
We do have a very welcoming presbyterate, I think.
Yeah. And then the first feast of St. Maria Goretti in July, the choir, the procession, and I would sit at Dan's side. And he will elbow me, and we were laughing as this, Dan, the people are watching at us. And we were laughing at different situations. Yeah. I found that everybody was very welcoming. I was in Deanery, well, now it's Deanery 6.
Right. We used to have names for them, Southwest and Southeast.
Yeah. And
it's a good place.
I was very welcomed by Barry Frayne. He was our dean. We'll go to Deanery meetings. Barry was such a nice guy.
Yeah, he was my pastor for a while at St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Now, there's a number of former IVE fathers now in the diocese, which is our blessing for us. Do you guys get together?
We get together for a while. We were meeting on Sundays at BJ's.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if the bishop's going to know this or what. But,
the bishop is fine.
So we will end up Sunday going to BJ's, have a beer, a pizza, and debrief and talk and hang out.
Speak Spanish.
Yeah. And now we meet sometimes either at Sacred Heart or Our Lady of Refuge with Hugo, or sometimes with Sergio. Yeah, but we meet here.
You do connect, still stay connected. That is good, So what were the challenges you faced at St. Leo as a first pastor, brand new pastor? Of course, you had been there at least for a couple of years.
Yeah, I was there 2 years. I still remember Richard asking me, you think you can become the pastor? I said, even though I was a teacher, didn't teach much. I was 6 months in teaching, but in the classroom, but not
managing people.
Yeah, and I says, my English is not good enough yet, and I don't know how I'm going to relate to the school. When I said, I don't think so, he said, oh, you'll be fine.
Bishop Rich is such an optimist always.
So if I told him, I will be, probably I said, no, it's not good. But I really didn't think, because of the school situation, but it worked out really well. I had Gail Morissette for CCD, Phyllis Torosa at school, and one of the things that worked for me was the communication. They always kept me posted. This is going on. This is going to happen. Come and working with the kids, because I think having a school is having another parish, but you have the kids there. You don't have to go around, look for them, bringing them. They are there. You just go there. And one of the things I loved at St. Leo's was when I was kind of down, I would go to kindergarten. And they welcome you, and Father, read us a story, talk to us, and they will sing for you, and it was beautiful.
That is
so
wonderful.
Kindergarten was my therapy.
So then from St. Leo, you went to Our Lady Star of the Sea?
When I joined the diocese, so I had to leave St. Leo's, and I was sent to Maria Goretti again because there was not an opening. The following year, they sent me to Star of the Sea.
And you were there for?
I was there for 2 years, and then went to John Vianney.
Quite a difference from a very small parish to Vianney.
Oh yeah. Going back to the challenges, one of the other challenges I had, I had a meeting with a couple of families. I love them and they love me. Whatever we see each other or we contact on Facebook, but we had a meeting. So, Father, we have some question for you. I said, okay, let's meet and talk about it. And one says, first, is this going to become a Spanish parish now? I says, no. I'm the pastor for the whole parish. I'll try my best. Somebody else said, well, you have an accent. You need to improve your English because we don't understand you.
How did that feel?
So I said, okay, I'll try my best. And then we need homilies with more beef.
Oh, jeez.
And we can work on the research for you, and then you can write your homily, and but we want to help you with that because we're well-educated people.
Ooh.
So I said, okay, I'll try my best. So and I said, yeah, you're well-educated in many things, but in faith, I think you lack a lot of things.
Good for you.
And then the other thing they said, the music should be more uplifting. Vic Repetto was there for 30-something years.
I know it.
He was diabetic. I said, I'm not going to fire Vic. Plus, he was a big donor. Every year, he was one of the bigger donors in the parish. I said, I'm not going to. So we have the
joys of being a pastor.
and I said, I'll try my best.
Wow, you were very gracious.
And I left that meeting and talked to two guys. Pat Taylor, he was a counselor at Bellarmine, and Chris Sutherland. I said, guys, I had this meeting. And he says, don't pay attention to them. The parish is bigger than them. I said, okay. So that kind of lifted me up.
Sure.
But that was a big challenge for me.
I can imagine.
But those people, after that, they were there for me. They supported me, and.
Well, I have a theory, Francisco. I think that the Anglo community in our diocese, we are a little lazy ears. We've been monolingual for so long that we don't do well with accents. And I think the onus is on us, I think. But
yeah, and I said, hey, I'm coming from outside.
And English is a very difficult language. I am very grateful it's my first language.
I'm sure if I came as a kid, it would have been different, but I came as a grown up.
Adult, exactly.
but again, turned out everything went well. Mm-hmm. We had a great time at St. Leo's. It's a beautiful parish.
So then at St. John Vianney, you got very busy. You were, at that time, you were also vicar for Hispanic ministry?
Vicar for the Hispanic, dean, and council of priests.
And a big parish with the school.
And a big parish, yeah. The only one speaking Spanish.
Oh.
So I have to do Spanish and English. And I always say, joking, I said, hey, in El Viso, I was a king. Now I'm a slave here. But I had a great time also at John Vianney.
Well, that's
But
a
it was
wonderful
busy
parish.
and with the English and Spanish, it was great. Memories of John Vianney, going to the school with the kids. They will call me, come and give us a tour of the church. We made rosaries, come and bless them. Graduation, the whole thing was good.
That is good.
It was a challenge building the multi-purpose.
Yes, that
building.
went on forever.
Yeah, forever. And I kind of started, thank God Tony finished it, and
it's wonderful.
it is wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yes. So from Alviso to John Vianney, and then Our Lady of Refuge, one of
Yeah.
the greatest memories, to start a new church.
Exactly. To be the first pastor of a new church was just, such an interesting building too, the way
Yeah.
we got it.
And there are two things. When Bishop did the capital campaign in 2007, one of the reasons was to build new parishes.
Parish, right.
I thought, when is the bishop going to build a new parish? Years later, and with the building and the busyness of John Vianney, was kind of burnt out. I said, I don't want to be a pastor anymore. And then I got a call from Brendan McGuire. He says, it's the possibility of buying a space and have a new church. And Eddie Samaniego and Steve Brown suggested your name to be the pastor.
Two good men suggested you.
So I said to him, I don't want to be a pastor. And I said, well, I'm going to help you with the administration. I know the administration is not your cup of tea, but I will help you with that. And then I started feeling the butterfly in my stomach. I said, oh, that'd be nice. And I had in my mind the community of Santee. Because when I was at Maria Grady, I was going to Santee. And
Because they're neighboring parishes.
yeah, it used to be a mission from Maria Grady.
I know, I remember.
And
The Holy Name Sisters were there.
yeah.
Yes.
Sister Guadalupe, Sister Mary, Sister
Sister
Catherine Irene,
Yeah.
and Sister Miriam. So I said, in my mind, I can handle this. It's not gonna be too big. So, but then I thought, next day when I woke up, I says, how about the Vietnamese? How about the Filipinos? What did I get into? Like telling, I'm going to the jail. It's not big
no big deal.
No big deal. But I think that's the way God moves me.
I think so.
And so I talked to Brenda and said, don't answer right now, and I said, I will do it. It was great, buying the place, starting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, remember the dedication?
The dedication was
That was fabulous. They were packed in there and outside.
But the other thing, it was following with Brenda. We said to fill this church, 1,000 people, probably 2-3 years, it will be full. Following Sunday, he came to celebrate the Spanish Mass at 10, and the church was full. We look at each other, and we didn't have enough Eucharistic ministers.
Didn't have enough anything.
Yeah, that's the other story behind the scene. So when I was, we were talking about being a pastor of the new parish. So Tim Kidney, I don't know, we met or Tim said, go and talk to Sally. Sally Samaniego was the chair of the festival at St. Maria Goretti. She was dynamite. So I haven't seen Sally since I left Maria Goretti, probably.
But she was still there.
So I'm going to her home. Oh, Father, what are you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. Sally, I need your help. Father Tim suggested me to contact you for this. And what do you want me to do? I said, I don't know. We started a new parish. So she said, I'm going to think about it. And she's big in stewardship.
Ah.
So I went and talked to her, and she said, okay, I'll help you. We work on stewardship. And she said, I'm going to get ministers from Maria Grady, St. Victor, my friends, give them a time like 3-4 months. When we get the new ones, if you want to return to your parish, you may do so. If you want to stay, you stay. So I talked to Brenda and Penny and Mary and people from Holy Spirit. They were very supportive. And Sally was there, and she's still there and organizing things. And
You also had a wonderful pastoral associate,
oh yeah,
an institute graduate.
after Penny, when Annabella came, oh, Annabella is a treasure.
Yeah, she really is.
I feel embarrassed because she works double than I do, and she's more committed than I am. But she's great.
And you know, she's absolutely wonderful, and she is just one of the wonderful things about the Diocese of San Jose. Is we've had very strong leaders, very committed, women and men. It's been just very good. Yeah.
No, I still remember she was at St. John Vianney
With youth.
with me, with youth.
Yeah.
And then she had the opportunity to go to ILM. I said, you should go. It's your opportunity to grow. And
She did.
she did, and she has grown so much. She's a great leader. One of the things that amazes me, how she works with confirmation kids, and she get the kids involved and the parents involved.
That's no small feat.
She gets the parents, the kids are there. And the kids love her, loves the retreat. She started working with them, immediately have youth leaders, sending kids. One of the things DYR, the Diocesan Youth Retreat in Tahoe, is not for the kids from East Side. No, we need to make the effort and send them, and we started sending kids, and 4, 6, 8, I don't know how many are going now.
That's great.
But, and they loved it.
Yeah. And now one of your former IVE fathers, is now the pastor.
No, Hugo is the pastor,
Hugo Rojas,
working hard there too. And so my question is, how are the collections? Oh, they're up 10,000 and they're having the goal.
Way to go.
Yeah, way to go.
So this last year, you have not been a pastor.
This year, it was great.
Was it?
Sacred Heart is a beautiful parish.
It is a wonderful.
A lot of history there, but it's really busy.
Oh, yes.
Really busy, and but it's great. And and now that I'm going to Morgan Hill, it's been so short of a time that I have mixed feelings. I'm happy I'm going to Morgan Hill, but the mixed feelings that I'm just getting to know the people, click on the people, and I have to go. It's
I know. And Morgan Hill is a very busy parish too.
This year, I really enjoy. We had a meeting yesterday. I enjoy the Easter Triduum because Walter took care of Holy Thursday. I did Good Fridays, and he did it in Spanish. But I was just enjoying it. I don't. Who's turning the lights on?
Exactly.
Who lights the candles? When? Where's the water?
Didn't have to think about
I didn't have to think about.
You got to pray.
I got to pray and enjoy it. The baptisms and something that I loved. It's Good Friday. I had to give a talk. I was behind, but when I finished, I said, I'm going to go to the Stations of the Cross, thinking the Stations of the Cross will be around the block. No, they went like 3-4 blocks away.
Wow.
3-4 blocks. It was a big thing. And the whole block full of people. People who didn't participate or were coming from work or going to different places, they will stop and look and pray, very respectful.
It's wonderful.
It was great. And then we did the fire of the Easter Vigil in the parking lot, but we didn't go from the door inside. It was all around the block.
All right.
So we have to take turns with a layperson, Walter and myself, carrying the Paschal candle, because Walter got a 6 feet tall Paschal candle. So, oh man.
Of course he did.
So
you had to pass it off.
Thank God I have a big belly. I could hold it there because otherwise it was. But it was beautiful. They love those processions outside and the community respond.
That's wonderful. That is really wonderful. You've been in our diocese for quite a while. What do you see as the future? What's your vision of the Church of San Jose?
know, the bishop's talking about resigning. And I said to him,
Retiring.
When you're retiring, when you retire, I'm moving to Monterey with Rich.
No, you're not.
Yeah, but no, it's there's lots of Vietnamese, Hispanic. I guess the diversity of our diocese, it has to, I don't know, big influence in our diocese. When I came in 1994, I always tell Kevin, we are the minority. But now I look at Kevin and say, Kevin, you are the minority
That's right.
now.
That's right.
So
There is no real majority.
Yeah, no. So I don't know so our presbytery has changed the ethnicity a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to work a lot more together.
The priests.
The priests.
Yeah.
And
now the lovely thing is the priests reflect the people in
Yeah.
terms of the ethnicity.
Yeah.
That's a real gift.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
But it's a challenge,
We need to work more together. I think we are doing a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
in my parish, in my parish. I think more
Collaborate. Yeah.
That's one of the things I would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge also is for our Hispanic community, housing, renting.
That's awful, isn't it?
People have to come to church, but they have to work 2 jobs. Some people work all weekend, and parents. So I think that's a challenge
It's a big one.
because the whole thing influences the kids.
Sure. Sure.
They grow without the parents being at home. It's
And the constant stress about just
yeah.
making ends meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And housing it's ridiculous in this county.
Now, like Google planning to do a campus place by downtown. What's going to happen with our people?
We're living
Middle class people there.
No, it's problematic. It really, really is.
We were talking yesterday about ADA, and last year they have like 500 families participating. This year has been like 300 because they move out.
Yeah.
Looking for
I think
more affordable
yeah.
housing and
Sure. And then the long commute in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just wonder what it's doing to family life.
yeah. So I think that's it is a big challenge. I don't know what's going to happen with education because Catholic schools we are fighting to keep them up, but
And it gets expensive.
it gets expensive too. I support a lot of the charter schools, ACE, Rocket Ship, and because I think that's our kids who can
Yeah.
they can go and probably succeed in those charter
Or Sacred
schools.
Heart
Or
Nativity.
Sacred Heart
Yeah.
Nativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at Five
Cristo
Wounds, the
Rey.
Cristo Rey. Yeah. Thank God for them.
So so what is my vision? I would like to see all those kids succeeding in their life and in their faith and the education for them. I think I would like to work and see more.
What do you see as the strong points of our diocese, our strengths?
You know, I think when we had the Day of Recollection, Jean O'Donnell mentioned the bishop has been a good leader, and the presbytery is really good.
We've had 2 good bishops.
Yeah, and the priests in the diocese, they're working a lot. It's
They're good men.
yeah, very dedicated, committed. Our lay people, people like Annabella, people like you, like Linda, Cuñoricchio. We need to keep those leadership going and forming new leaders to continue the mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think ILM is doing a great job on that.
I think so too. It's 20 years. It's amazing. It's been 20 years. Yeah. And the graduates are doing some good things.
A lot of leaders moving the church ahead. Like I went to St. Elizabeth. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm. A lot. Vietnamese,
Latinos.
and
They are very active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And moving the church forward. I think. So I think that's a strength. ILM forming the leaders is one of the strengths.
It's a good thing to hear.
Yeah, because we have all them. This T-shirt, Quinto Encuentro.
Right.
A lot of the people at Sacred Heart that were participating are ILM people.
It's great.
And they have every session 60, 70 people.
Wow.
Weekdays, people who work, people who have families, children, they come to the meetings and participate.
Yep.
So it's and at the same time, the diversity is
It's wonderful.
wonderful.
Yeah. I think we really are a gift to the national church because we know how to do diversity.
Yeah.
You know, we value
yeah.
it. We treasure it.
Oh yeah. I had a funeral at Our Lady of Refuge. It was last year or the year before. I can't remember. It was Esteban Nájera's mom passed away.
Oh.
So we had a funeral services at Refuge. And Anthony Tan. No, I don't know who is who.
I know.
Anthony is, and the other Anthony Tan is the one who was a police officer.
Right.
So he came to the mass to accompany the family.
Mm-hmm.
They were Latinos. He is a Vietnamese. He could have said, I don't speak Spanish. But he came to support the family.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And at the moment of the celebration, so he says, I can read. So the Spanish part that he read it perfectly.
That's wonderful. That's a
So
great
after
story.
Mass, I said, congratulations, how do you do? And he says, I'm trying to learn, because he was assigned at Our Lady of Lavang at that time.
Uh-huh.
And he says, and I want to celebrate the Mass for the Hispanic community there. So he was practicing.
Good for him.
But that tells you
That
the
kind of
value of the
enthusiasm,
diversity
exactly.
and the,
wanting-
the willingness to serve.
Yeah. It's a gift.
Yeah.
So is there anything else we should be talking about, Father?
Enjoy our diocese.
Enjoy our diocese. That's a great way for us to end.
Yeah, enjoy our diocese. It's when we come here, everything is new, is different, but we can work. Again, as I say, I felt so welcome when I came.
Oh, we are so happy you came.
And so that's why adjusting for me was not probably the first year.
Oh, well, sure.
Doing things,
Everything being new.
being new, language, customs. I'm telling you, first day I came to San Jose, and Oscar and Richard took us to Chinese restaurant. It was first time for me eating Chinese food. Now I can eat pho and all kinds of.
You're right, you got it down.
But it's a joy to work for the diocese.
Well, it's a
And
joy.
I feel the love of the community. So one of my nieces said to me, Tio, you are spoiled. People do things for you. I said, well, God loves me. And that's why people, and I see God's love in our community.
Amen.
And from the bishop to the last person. I was sick a couple of years ago. The bishop goes to the hospital, and then Pat Allen comes and brings me communion, and priests are calling, sending cards, and praying.
That's right. Yeah.
So God's never wrong sending me here.
No, God knows what God was doing.
Yeah.
Francisco, thank you so much for being with us. This has
Thank
been just
you.
a fun conversation.
Thank you, and it was great. And congratulations, 20 years of ILM,
I feel happy about that.
and our friendship since
Since you
Day
came?
one, since I
Since
came.
day one.
So thank you for your love and support, and
Thank you for yours.
always being there for me there.
Hooray for us.
Yeah. Thank you.